Hi, I'm Zoe Caldwell. We're going to talk about LexisNexis cost-effective research tips right now. I'm going to dispel a few rumors for you. We'll dive into the research system and I'll show you how to use the research system a little bit more effectively and efficiently. So if you happen to be in an environment where the firm bills back their clients for research done, you'll be able to make better choices so the firm doesn't have to charge the clients as much money for the research. Okay, so first things first, let's dispel some rumors. All of Lexis's customers right now have a flat rate plan with Lexis. That means they pay one flat fee a month, and that's the fee that they pay Lexis. They may choose to bill back their own clients for research done, but they're still paying that same fee to Lexis every month, whether they use a lot or a little. The next rumor, this one's kind of common, unfortunately, is that Lexis may come and say, hey, you used our research system a whole lot the last year, and we're going to come back with a new contract now that's higher because you were using so much. We don't do that. So please feel free to use Lexis as much as you need. We don't base our contract prices on how much usage you used in the past. Again, it's based on the databases that you want access to and the number of attorneys that need IDs. Okay, and let me just mention one last time. During the summer, all student IDs can be used for any purpose, for work, for school, for home, any purpose. But during the school year, the school IDs will go back on to just for school work only. All right, let's get started with the research system. And I'm going to show you one new tip right now that's really a fantastic one. This is pretty recent, so you may not be familiar with it, but right now, all primary law is no charge to the client. So I can go ahead and get this case right now, and the firm will not be billing back the client for getting primary law. That's because it's not going to show up on the invoice. Primary law right now is considered free. So I went to get this case, and that was not showing up on the invoice. And the firm won't bill back for that. Any cases listed within this, if I want to go ahead and get this link, again, still primary law, that's not going to cost money. Primary law includes cases, statutes, regulations, agency materials, so it's pretty wide amount of material that is not going to show up on the invoice. The next tip is that get a document fee is less than a search fee. So if I want to type a search here, that will be a search fee. So I could say publish and website and free speech. If I ran this search, that will be a search fee, and that will show up on the invoice as a search. But if I want to come back over and get a document, then I can do something like this. Let's say I have an issue in California criminal law. So I start typing California criminal to find a good secondary source that talks about criminal law. And I see this one, I say, okay, California criminal defense practice, let's go on in. And now I'm looking at this secondary source. So this isn't primary law. We're talking about a secondary source here. And I can choose to go through my plus signs here and dive down manually into this book. So I open this up and then I see, oh, okay, I'm interested in joinder. And I'm going to go on into this particular page. So once I dive down manually and land on one page in this book, that is a get a document fee. I just got one document and I did not run a search. Likewise, any of these links in here to other pages in this book would be another get a document fee or get a document on the invoice because again, I'm just getting one page in this book. But if I came back and I decided I wanted to run a search within this source up top. And I said, okay, I'm really interested in battery. And I want to run it, the search in the table of contents. So I want to know if there's a title in this database called battery. And I run it. That's a search. I just ran a search within this source. And I can go on into my results here. If I hit my back browser, likewise, I want to search all the pages in this book for battery, that also will be a search fee. So search fees are more than get a document fees. If you can do something manually by opening up these plus signs and finding the document you need quickly, then that will be less money, and I encourage you to do that. But if it's going to take you a long time to figure out where you want to go, remember, time is money, so save money if you need to by running a search if that's more cost effective for you because you're not sure where things are in the book. All right, so I'm going to hit my back browser. I'm going to come back to the beginning, and here's your next tip. We're going to start broad searches, and we're going to narrow for free. So here we go. I'm going to type in non-disclosure and material fact. And I'm going to run it in a particular database right now. I'm going to choose California and all federal content. So I'm in California, and this button means Supreme Court, Ninth Circuit, bankruptcy courts, any courts in the federal level regarding California, and I'm going to run the search. Please know that even though I narrowed my database to California materials, that didn't make the search less money. A search fee is the same no matter the size of the database you search, so it doesn't matter if you choose to pre-filter the search as I did or later come in and put your filters in. That's either way, it's the same search fee. Okay, so I ran a search here. I got a search fee, and it was pretty broad. I said, I want the words non-disclosure and material fact to show up in my result set. Now I can post filter and put in some more terms. So post filtering or filtering down my result list does not show up on the invoice. This won't be an extra charge. So here's a good search connector you can use to narrow down. I typed in at least, A-T-L-E-S-T, and I chose the number 4, but that can be any number I want. And in parentheses, I put the word omit with an exclamation point or omission. That exclamation point is my root expander. It's going to get omit or omitted. And because I need to, omission is spelled with S and not a T like omit, then I just use this word. So omit, omitted, or omission. These terms need to be in my result set at least 4 times. So I know I'm taking a more general word like omission and making sure there's some discussion about it in my results because the term needs to show up at least 4 times. Now I could change this to a 6 or lower it to a 3, but just know that's my parameter, and my results will be reflective of that. Okay, so now we have narrowed to a jurisdiction and put these terms in. Some other search features are here to help you save time, and one of them are these color maps. So let me explain what this is. When I look at this, I can see what colors my terms are in each result, and I can actually click around and see where these terms are landing in my results based on the colors. So I can decide if this is something I want to open up or if I want to scroll on down to the next one and see where these terms are showing up. If that doesn't look good to me, then I can keep scrolling down, jumping around to my different colors to see where my terms are, making better choices. And if I can save time, time is money, so that's a time-saving feature. Another time-saving feature is to use my Ravel view, and that's over to the side here. Ravel view is going to pull a list of the top 75 cases from my result set, and it's going to lay them out in a map based on how influential that case is for the terms I'm researching, non-disclosure and material fact. This access, the higher up you go, the higher up the court, and this access, the more right you go, the more recent in time. The bigger the bubble, the more that case has influence over other cases as far as case precedent. And you can actually see these are the cases that are citing this bigger bubbled case, Ostreicher. And you can see the cases and the little lines, they're the new cases that are citing Ostreicher, and I can see those cases and case precedent. It's kind of like the family tree of case precedent. So I want to take a look at these cases that have more influence than other cases. That will save me time, so I know I'm on the lookout for this Ostreicher case. And the Ostreicher case actually shows up as number 38 in my list. So by using this map, I'm able to quickly know that number 38 may be something that I need to take a look at. Okay, so I'm going to come to the next tip. I'm in the Ostreicher case. Let's take a look at the next tip. For that, we're going to use this box on the side of the case that says about this document. When I open it up, down at the bottom, you'll see the legal issue trail and a box that says to activate passages. So I'm going to turn that on. And now I'm going to take a look at the passages of text that are boxed in because they're boxing in the legal precedent. So if I'm interested in Headnote 11, then I may come or start reading around Headnote 11 and find what the precedent is that is most important to me. What is the box of text that's really summarizing the issue I need well? And once I find it, I can then click inside the box and I will find a list of cases that cite my case based on that legal precedent. So I clicked inside the box. Here's where the case is my case cited, so further back in time. But these are the following cases that cite Ostreicher based on that particular legal precedent that I clicked on. And you can see there's a lot of them here, and it even goes on for more pages. And guess what? The legal issue trail is free. So you're sort of like getting a free search just for clicking the legal issue trail. If the Ostreicher case is one of the leading cases for legal precedent for the issue I typed in, and I find the precedent that I need, now here's a bunch of cases that cite that leading precedent that I can use. And remember, primary law is not going to show up on the invoice, so I can actually open up any of these, and that also doesn't cost any money. So we just got a lot of research done with no cost to the client. I'm going to come back in, and we're going to take a look now at the Shepherd's box. The Shepherd's reports are considered also the primary law, so they're no charge to the client. You won't see these show up on the invoice. Also, Shepherd's reports are always included in the cost of the document you're looking at, so they're a really effective way to do legal research and heavily used in the firms as a source of legal research, and not just to find out if this case is good law, which of course we need to do, but if Ostreicher is the leading case law for the legal issue you're interested in, then we've got all these cases that cite Ostreicher, and we can use them as well. And here's where I can come in and type my at least for or omit or omission and run that search. And so we're filtering down our list to the cases that have my terms in it that might come from a particular jurisdiction. And we've got these cases as well. Opening up these cases will not show up on the invoice. They're primary law, so it's another way to get a lot of legal research without much charges on the invoice. Okay, all right, this is an important tip. In the firms, it's really important you go through your history to get documents or searches that you've already done earlier that day. So for example, if I want to rerun this search, instead of just clicking the magnifying glass again when I see it, I want to come through my history and pull the search open this way. You'll have your documents located here as well, and pretty much know that your history is saved for 90 days, and you can get back into those documents with almost no charge to the client, with one exception. You'll see a charge after 24 hours on a search you ran. So after 24 hours, you'll see when you go to click that search from your history, you'll see it show up on the invoice again, and that's just because the search is going to pull up new information, and so you're running a new search. But the document, that's always going to be at no cost when you go through your history because you've already accessed it and there's no search fee associated with that. So we can get back into this database with no extra charge. So please use your history in the firms. The next thing is to know that if I wanted to print anything or download anything or email anything, there's no costs associated with that as well. My final tip is actually coming in to a different database called Lexis Practice Advisor, and it's located here on my little square grid. Lexis Practice Advisor is a separate database, and all of Lexis Practice Advisor is no cost to the client. It's not billable. So know that Lexis Practice Advisor is a task-based practical guidance center that provides the tools attorneys need to complete a variety of legal tasks in many, many different areas of law, and you can see them here. And you can get the full practice notes and checklists and forms that you need right from this database at no cost to the client. I'll have separate videos on Lexis Practice Advisor, but just know that this is out here and it's highly used in the firms as a way to save clients money. Thanks for your time.